far as always good to us. And did you ever come here after a game or anything?
Yeah, we did. This would open, 2004, just probably halfway through that year, that season, 03-04. So my wife and I had come in after my girlfriend at the time, my wife now. We'd come in. I remember watching World Series games in here in 04, which was
really
tough. It was a tough bid to get in here at the time because this was really rocking and rolling, and kind of had to throw the Bruins card around to get in to be able to watch the game at any bar really in the city, and especially this one. So yeah, I mean, now with the kids, we don't venture this way too often, but it's kind of fun to be back in here.
Yeah,
cool
but
spot.
I am super pumped that you're doing the podcast with me. I've never had a co-host, but after talking to you a little bit at the radio station when you came in and stuff, I was thinking it would have been if you were interested, it would be a fun fit, but I was always like, why would he be interested in doing a podcast?
Yeah, no, it's I'm always looking for something new and fun, and obviously we've had fun doing this before, so
yeah.
It's fun to kind of just talk, and I'm sure we'll get into some hockey and talk that, and
and life.
It's good
current events,
lots of current events, no politics, but yeah, great to be out of the house and hanging out.
Yeah, I love to. Yeah, for the listeners, they don't have to worry about politics because I don't know anything.
Perfect.
So
yeah, and I'm Canadian.
Exactly. So go somewhere else for that
That's
stuff.
right.
So I've never had a segment, but I'm thinking we should have some segments with people. I don't know, like a recurring thing. I don't know, like 5 questions or
yeah.
Or maybe a current events section. I don't know.
You'll have to brainstorm that one with some people.
We'll have to throw some things around.
Yeah,
but,
you need some curveballs.
But yeah, just to get people up to speed on us, I took some time away from the podcast. That's why new episodes haven't been posted as much. There's a lot going on, but this industry it's like a big chess game. I don't know how the sports industry is, but the entertainment industry is a lot of waiting around and a lot of paperwork and not fun stuff, but everything I've been working on is starting to come out now, so I'm excited for everyone to be seeing that, and this is one of them. And what have you been up to? You've been skating with the alumni?
Busy. Yeah, lots of
doing Nesson last year.
Yeah, so kind of getting back in the mix. I've got 3 awesome kids that require a lot of time, but they're getting older and now able to kind of get out and do some more alumni stuff, do some Nesson, and get back into hockey that way, which has been really fun. And now the podcast world, see where this takes me. So, but yeah, great. I'm in the area, and like I said, lots of family time, busy with that, and continue to really find my calling in life. But at the moment, it's fun to do Bruins and alumni, do some Nesson work, which is really fun to get in the studio, and look forward to doing more of that this year, and do some of this.
Because I started out as just a stand-up comedian, and then when I got hired in radio, I was like, well, I don't really want to do radio, but alright. And then I kept going with it, and then I got hired as a Bruins beat reporter, and I was like, oh, now I gotta actually pay attention to the games. And writing blogs or anything, I feel like I'm taking notes during the game because I don't want to mess any any facts up or anything about the game up when I'm talking about it. Do you feel that when you're in the Nesson studio? Are you oh God, how am I going to break this down? It seems so hard to me to be able to do that, to break it down as you're watching it. I mean, as a professional, it's probably a little bit easier for you because you understand the game better than a fan, but it still must be pretty difficult.
Yeah, no question. Yeah, I found, you have to be precise and you want to get it right, obviously. Nowadays you get on TV or you get on a podcast and it's there forever. Things don't go away anymore. You can't deny them anymore. That's pretty. So no question. Doing the Nesson, you have to watch guys. You have to follow who's coming up. I found the big thing is transactions. Okay, who got called up this week, who got sent down,
Right.
what's going on the other team, are the goalies injured? Especially for me, fortunately for the most part on Nesson, I've got a lot of goalie specific stuff. That's what I did and what I know. So, that makes it a little easier. But you still need to know the young guys that are on the fourth line that could have a breakout game or who are playing really well. So, it's one thing to watch the game and just kind of hang out and catch a minute here and a minute there, but when I'm going on studio, I really focus on those few days ahead of time, kind of what's going on in the league and staying on top of it.
Yeah, and especially with this time of year, I feel like this is kind of the most hectic because it's like rookie camp just started, and does this time of year bring back any like anxiety for you, or
not so
for
much
camp?
anxiety, but kind of the summer's over. It's funny, we drove up to the North Shore this weekend and drove past Wakefield, the Sheraton in Wakefield, which I've spent probably a year of my life in for training camps, and so this is the time of year that I'd end up checking in there for a month or so. Hopefully longer, a couple times longer. So it's more that it's this still, even though I've been out of the game for a while, this still back to school. This is kind of the routine and the cadence my body still has to getting busy again and trying to find things to do. And unfortunately, I don't have someone telling me what to do for the next 9 months, and I miss that probably more than anything. I would know exactly what time the bus was going to be in February 3rd where we were going and
like
what time
that
I was
structure.
going. Yeah, so I certainly crave that at this time of year, and I'm trying to find it now on my own. But obviously with kids in school that helps. But yeah, absolutely. My body and my mindset certainly seems to focus a little more this time of year.
Yeah, because I was always, I hate fall time, like the beginning of fall. Like I'm a big summer guy, so whenever fall rolls around, I'm like, I can't do it. But once September 1st hits, I'm like, all right, well then it's kind of like when you're sick and you don't want to throw up. You're like, no, I don't want to.
Yeah.
And then after you feel better.
Yeah. It's August is kind of August I don't like, because August always feels like.
Yeah, I don't like it either. That's when my birthday is.
Yeah. You got a long ways to go worrying about those, but yeah, like May, June, July are fun, and then August seems like that's time. All right, let's just get to September. I sometimes let summertime get away from me just because of that. It's like, all right, let's just do September now. I'm kind of over the routine, so or the non-routine, the chaos of summer, especially now with the 3 kids. It's it can get out of hand on you pretty quick.
Yeah. So you golf a lot, and I noticed you got a Cladaphone.
Yeah, I played this week. I was with Ken and Bobby. What's today? On Friday, they had the tournament down there at Willow Bend, so it was a great day. Played with some friends.
I assume Lenny Clark was down there.
Lenny had the opening ceremony, which is always close to the line and always really funny, which always makes me laugh.
We'll have him on the podcast. So.
Yeah, he's the best. It's awesome.
And his colored pants.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, played golf with those guys last week, which is always a great, it's a great tournament and lots of fun to see them. I've known Ken for a long time and played a lot of golf with him back in the day, so I always make a point to get down there for his tourney. But other than that, I haven't played. Ray Bork had his tournament a few weeks ago, so you try and get to people's events that I'm friends with or are doing great work. So, but beyond that, it's hard to get out of the house for 5 or 6 days.
Yeah.
2 or 3 times a week.
Every single summer, I want to learn how to play golf, but I go to the driving range and I can't do it. I don't. I guess it's just I need more time to be able to practice.
No, yeah, it's one of those. That's a 2-year commitment essentially to start playing golf at an older age.
Because it seems like a lot of hockey players are really good golfers, and I played hockey my whole life, but I'm like, I can't wrap my head around the golf thing.
Yeah, the golfers that are the guys that got to do nothing all summer and
Yeah.
just go to the golf course. You know, that's kind of how that works. Even the guys that didn't play when they were younger, you know, if they commit themselves, you know, there's guys like Ryan Whitney's a guy who didn't start and now he plays all the time. But I know he's a guy who didn't play when he was a kid, but basically is like at the golf course, you know, 7 days a week, 10 hours a day, just grinding. So he's a good player now. But that's what golf is. You need to repetitions is incredibly important.
Next summer.
Yeah, and then 2 years from that, you'll be ready to actually play.
Yeah, exactly. If I can commit at all. Hard time with that training type thing. But yeah, speaking of Ken Casey, I've tried to get him on the podcast a few times. We definitely should try and get him on. That'd be a good guest. And
fun.
I've had a few of his fighters that I'm friends with, Danny O'Connor and Mark DeLuca. They've been on the podcast, and they'll be fighting here at the Garden next month.
Got it.
Next month, so that should be a fun fight. Danny O'Connor, and
check that out.
Danny O'Connor just won the. Do you watch fighting at all, or boxing? Or?
Not really, no. I mean, I remember the good old days of Arturo Gotti, Mickey Ward, those ones, but I haven't followed it very much now. I'll see the big fights, but I don't know the ins and outs very well. So update me.
I think my dad wanted me to be a boxer.
Yeah.
But I didn't have the build for it. But looking back at old home videos, like all of it is me boxing, and I'd have new boxing equipment, and I was like, I didn't realize until now I was kind of training, wasn't I?
Yeah.
How come I still can't throw a punch?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I talked about it the last week, getting kids into the training of it's amazing. You know, nothing else.
It's good cardio. I started up again, and it's almost like how you can work out as much as you want, but there's nothing like skating shape.
Yeah, same thing.
I haven't skated in a year because I haven't had time, and then also my lungs collapsed.
Yeah.
Randomly.
Yeah.
That was fun.
That
was. I don't get how some play. Have you ever had a lung collapse?
No.
Oh my god, it's the most painful thing ever, and you can't breathe, obviously. And we're at the Greatest Bar, and we're next to the wall of the Stanley Cup Finals, and I think it was this Stanley Cup run, Patrice Bergeron played with a punctured lung. So we played with one lung.
Yeah, he had something going. Patrice's pain tolerance is obviously pretty high. He had that spleen issue or something at one time too, but yeah,
I couldn't even walk down the hallway.
Yeah.
It was like, you win 4 Stanley Cup rounds? Was it?
Crazy.
Well, not the whole 4.
No, fortunately, but yeah, I mean, it's something else. I can't imagine that kind of pain.
And you knew, you guys were rookies together.
We were, yeah. I was with him his first year pro, so we were roommates in that.
Oh, I didn't know you were roommates.
Yeah, roommates on the road, so we spent a lot of time sleeping. We slept basically all season long, so you know, we didn't get out on the road too much. He couldn't even, you know, he was only 18 at the time, so most places he couldn't even go out to.
Was he like super disciplined or something? Like he seems like he's like one of the most consistent players in the NHL, which is very hard to do.
No, he's extremely disciplined and passionate and hardworking and all those words that you would describe a leader or someone who's gonna probably be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
You know, you can go down the list of all the hockey guys, all the guys I've played with through that way. He's no different, no question. But yeah, he's a great guy. You know, always fun to see him.
I still he's the first person that has played for the Bruins that I feel like I remember in being 18 because I forget how old I was, but I remember he was the new kid on the team, and we both were. And then now I'm like, I can't believe that team is like, he's the veteran on the team.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
by a lot now. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, we get old. But yeah, he's been here, 14 years now. This will be 13, 14 years. So.
It's insane. My very first playoff game, he scored the overtime goal.
Yeah,
and
game 2, Montreal, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, 2-1 Montreal here at the Fleet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was my first, my parent, I was an only child for my whole life, and then when I was 12, my parents had twins.
Oh, nice.
So I was like, went from all the attention was on me to 0
Yeah.
attention on me. And that was like the the first time in like a year they were like, all right, let's get him out of the house. And
Gotcha.
my dad brought me to that game.
That was a good one.
That was back when I think they were still like getting used to being in, like the organization was like, oh, we're back in the playoffs, and they were handing out the boomsticks like we were in Tampa or something.
Yeah, it was. Yes, it was a different time. You know, in the Garden. It was before that lockout. You know, before everything really changed. You know, a few years after that, it was pretty old school still around here.
But that was like my first like playoff moment was him scoring that, and I was like, oh, who's this Bergeron?
Yeah, that's right.
All right.
Yeah, can get behind him.
I think I was in 7th grade.
That's funny.
But that was a good team. That was
Yeah, it was a great team. We blew it that year, but it was a great team. That, you know, we just didn't go our way at the end, you know, with injuries and stuff. But we had a lot of great players that some are still playing, and others had long careers after that. So that was a big disappointment. It always will be, you know, looking back. But it was a long time ago too. Can't do much about it now.
I know it's not his fault. Probably a nice guy. Never met him, but if I ever met him, I feel like he's the only person that I can't talk to. Richard Zednick.
Yeah, that's right. Game 7, high glove.
Oh man, but yeah, I'm fun. So how's the podcast feel so far? How's the podcast life?
So far, so good. This is, you know, pretty easy. We're just we need to plate of nachos and a pitcher, I guess. That's all.
Oh, we can arrange that. If you're into that, I'm also into that. So.
But no, all good.
Yeah, this is actually the earliest podcast I've ever done. So.
Yeah, this is almost the end of the day for me, so I apologize.
The end of the day.
Yeah, this is we've already had a full day already at home. But that's what we're gonna have to find a middle territory for.
Oh, I work around you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
You have kids.
That's it. That's it. So yeah, the 11:30 is like an early one, I guess, in normal people's time.
All I have to really do is just ask my wife if I can go.
Yeah.
Because she makes my schedule.
Yes.
I do not. If someone asks me like, "Hey, you want to do this gig?" I'm like, here's my wife's number. Ask her what I'm doing tomorrow because I have no idea. So.
Yeah, it kind of works that way. My house too.
We'll probably be doing these when we can. Like
Okay.
Once a week or
Sure.
I don't know when to tell people yet to like tune in or look out for them, but
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll
bang them out.
Yeah, we'll work the bugs out and
Yeah, that's right.
we'll figure it out.
We'll get the response back if it's necessary to keep going too. That, you know, if we're wanted.
No, I put out just a small like Easter egg out on social media, like just a hint that you were going to be doing it with me.
Yeah.
And it was probably the biggest response I
Hey,
got of people like, oh my god, yes, and then people like reaching out, and I was like, how come no one was listening?
Awesome. I'll keep watching.
So if you get sick of me, just know that you'd probably be very
to
successful.
do it. Oh, I wouldn't be able to put this all together.
I'll be your producer. It'll be the Andrew Raycroft show.
Yeah. I wouldn't be able to sit here and talk on it by myself.
I had a few people that reached out and they were like, "Oh, cool. Actually, do you think you could talk to Razor about being the goalie for the Bruins again, and Tuukka can just do the back?" I was like, "Come on, guys,
that's easy."
I don't get.
I don't.
I have a hard time sitting in the stands, just because fans get on my nerves.
Yeah. I mean, they're fans, so it's.
But they're Boston fans.
Boston fans.
And I'm a Boston fan too, but
very spoiled in the last 14, 15 years. So.
And I think we're uncomfortable with it.
Yeah, at times I think I think
we're like
perspective's been lost a little bit. I think you know the time most people that are actually going to games now have never really seen losing that bad. You know, all they've seen is winning. You know, everyone from the 25 to 40 range have just won. You know, and they're able to go to games and follow games, and so I think sometimes perspective's lost a little bit. But in saying that, it's everyone's pretty passionate and pretty everyone's willing to voice their opinion here in Boston,
Yeah.
obviously. So sometimes the guys get a hard time for only winning 2 rounds in the playoffs, or for only winning 55 games in the season, or for only winning, you know,
When
the
the
Vezina
Bruins
trophy.
When the
You know, it's like, it's crazy.
Yeah,
It doesn't
it's
make
insane.
any sense, but